there, this is Straight Talk, no sugar added. I am your host, Nina Perez, and we are here to discuss life topics to challenge and transform your thinking. Let's do this. I have been very, very discouraged the last week or so, and been going through some tough personal things, and it's been kind of hard to get through it. And so I was talking to my hubby, and I said, I need to do a live. I haven't done a live in a couple of weeks, and I feel very discouraged. And I think that in order to overcome my discouragement, I need to face this bad boy, right? So what did I do? Went and got myself my gin and tonic. It is a Friday evening. So I got my little diet tonic and gin. I had like Hendrix, it's my favorite, and a piece of lime. And that's how I started to come down here to do this live, because girl needs this, okay? Anyway, so, I had to really think about this, right? So I had to think about why I'm discouraged. I know why I'm discouraged, but, what do I do in the middle of this discouragement? What do I freaking do in the middle of the discouragement, right? And I realized that I do this a lot with a lot of my, coaching clients, right? So I have quite a few powerhouse people that I speak to. And I realized that in order for me to get through this, one, I have to be completely transparent and vulnerable with you guys that I am going through a season of discouragement right now. I also got to face it. In order to face it, I have to come on here, kind of just face it. And so I realized that the way to do this is to reframe the way I am speaking to myself inside. I have to really reframe how I'm speaking to myself inside, because I am really discouraged, and I'm going through. And so in order for me to get through this feeling of discouragement that I'm going through, I really had to check myself and see what it is I'm going through inside and how it is I'm talking to inside in the middle of this issue. Because in the middle of this issue, when I'm feeling this discouraged, I really got to check myself, right? So I realized that I was having all these really negative thoughts because I'm so pissed off about something that's really discouraging me, that I had to start reframing that. So instead of asking myself, why am I having such a hard time getting through this? Because that's what I kept telling myself this week. Why am I having such a hard time getting through this? And why is this happening to me? That was my other question. Why the F is this happening to me? And how evil is it that this is happening to me? And this is so unfair, right? And that's what I've been telling myself like this whole week. I've been going through, guys. I haven't slept in a couple of days. I've been pissed, and I've been going through. So that's why the gin and tonic came into play. Gin and tonic for me. It's my favorite drink. And I'm like, I have to change that, right? Because since I do coaching and I do NLP work and stuff with people, I realize that I never let anybody sit in that funk for long. And I don't know why I've allowed myself to sit in there. But if you guys understand what I'm talking about, go ahead and let me know that you have definitely been there, where you have struggled through some stuff and it's hard to get out. And so instead of looking at it that way, what I've tried to do is I've been looking at how I'm talking to myself and how this is actually benefiting me, because, I really can't completely say what has been transpiring that's been very discouraging and hurtful to me, but I will eventually. I just can't right now because it's too much. It's too much. But what I've realized is that I'm going to have to look at this, face it, and be like, okay, instead of saying, why am I having such a hard time getting through this? And why is this happening to me? And how evil is this shit? And this is so unfair. I'm reframing the way I speak, because I have to. So the question is now going to be, what is the reason that this is happening to me? What's the reason? What's the good reason? I have to find the good intention of all of this, right? What can I take away from this? What can I take away from this experience? What can I take away from what is happening to me, right? How will this serve me moving forward? How is this that's discouraging me right now? How is this going to serve me moving forward? I have to think about that in the middle of the mess, right? In the middle of being discouraged. I have to think about, how is this serving me moving forward? What can I take away from all of this experience that I'm having? Because life is an experience, right? So what can I take away from that? Because it's time to really step out of the box of the way I normally think, which is the boo-hoo and woe is me type of thing, right? I haven't thought like that in a really long time. But when something kind of makes me afraid or angry or bitter, it's very easy to fall back into those patterns, right? So it's time to step out of that and start to believing for more increase, more growth, more spiritual growth, more vision, more ideas, more boldness, more creativity, more love, less fear, less discouragement, less anger, less of that and more of the great stuff, right? Because I've lived in in that pattern of dark and high and dark and high and dark and high for a very long time, and I don't want to go there no more, right? It's going to be really beneficial to us to also realize that there's no such thing as an instant growth or an instant more or an instant anything, but that there's not really a program of the 3 steps 2 or the 21 days 2. And yes, they do have those programs out there, and I think they're beneficial, right? But what do you do in the middle of the mess? What do you do when you've read every book and you've gone to every program and you've done every course and you're still feeling like this, right? Now, I believe that these books and programs and courses and YouTube videos and blogs and are very helpful. I do believe that you can learn a lot from these resources, but damn, when it is hard, when you are experiencing it, not just reading about it, right? But actually experiencing it, actually experiencing the crap that you're reading about, whether it's discouragement or fear or anger, frustration, being betrayed, any of those things, right? So being betrayed is a huge one because that really discourages you, right? Because you trust and believe in something or someone and it hits you in the chest, right? And that's a really hard one. And you have to keep in mind that we've spent a lot of our lives, or at least most of us, right? Not all of us. That's not true. I'm not generalizing, but a lot of us have spent a long time in our lives developing these ugly attitude patterns in our minds, right? And in our lives, this ungrateful thinking, this like fear-driven thoughts, these bad behaviors. And honestly, all I have to do is point at the media for you to realize that, right? It's fear-driven. That's how they make money, is fear-driven, right? So we have patterns of behavior inside of us that are fear-driven and, negative thinking and just ungrateful and ugly attitudes and judgmental. And this is what we do, right? This is, well, not, I shouldn't say we, because it's not everybody, but a majority of us do that. And, people, that starts to discourage us. That starts to come at us in a way that starts to cause destruction, right? And so these bad habits will not be broken or replaced unless we start really changing our mindset and putting in some positive, good behaviors. But that won't even happen unless we have some sort of commitment and discipline to get it done. I know, ew, commitment and discipline? Really? Yes, really. It is. I know those are bad words and they're ugly words and nobody likes them because everybody wants instantaneous, right? We want it and we want it now. And I think that is a large part of why I'm discouraged, because I'm looking for something to happen right now. I'm looking for something to happen right now, and it's not happening right now. It's freaking taking a long time, and I'm getting discouraged, and I'm getting, I don't know. I don't know. Fearful. I feel like I'm angry. Right. But I want to commit. I want to commit to the discipline and obedience that it takes for me to move forward and for me to not be discouraged, because being discouraged is really a dark place. It's not fun, right? It's almost like, when you're discouraged and stuff, it's almost like you keep talking to yourself negatively and stuff, and it makes you feel like you do have discipline and commitment, but to the wrong thing. You have a discipline and commitment to self-sabotage or self-pity or victim behaviors. And those things are causing us to feel stuck. And then sometimes you feel so stuck, or you feel like you're in limbo and you feel like you can't move forward. And that causes discouragement because it's a mental stronghold. It's something that's coming and it's holding you hostage, right? And so we need to really fix the way we flow, the way our mind flows. I call myself the mind flow practitioner because that's what I do. I help a lot of my very high achievers, entrepreneurs, professionals really start to work on the way the stuff flows through their mind. It's funny, right? Because I can see the impact in their lives and how much they're growing and how much they are overcoming a lot of stuckness in their life. And here I am this week, just really hit in the chest with some discouraging stuff, right? But we do develop discouragement in these patterns because we are committed and disciplined, but to the wrong thing. So instead of being committed and disciplined to thinking right or actually reframing our mind so that we don't think those negative thoughts, we actually become disciplined and committed to self-sabotage, to self-pity, to victim behavior, to discouragement, to fear. We get stuck there, and then it gets really, really hard because now it's like a mental stronghold over the mind, and that's what we want to do. We want to fix that, right? So we want to change the way we fix. So what do you do in the middle of feeling discouraged? Because you feel it right now, right? I mean, that book isn't helping you. That course didn't help you right now because you're feeling it right freaking now, right? And the way we let these things flow in and out of our minds, regardless of how effed up it is, we have to really think about what that discouragement is doing to us, because discouragement, guys, is contagious. If I come home and I'm discouraged and I'm feeling like crap because I'm discouraged and I'm sad, it like almost infects the entire room, right? It's that energy. I don't like that energy. I don't want that energy. And I the hell sure don't want to give you that energy or my family that energy, right? So we need to really fix our mind flow and the way that we let things flow in and out of our minds, regardless of how effed up the situation is. It's like fear, right? Like fear comes and creeps its ugly head, and then before you know it, you are knee deep in shit and having a hard time finding your way out of it. I'm sorry that I'm cursing. This is just the way I feel. I'm going through a really tough time of discouragement myself right now, and this shit is real, guys. But just in the last few days, I have heard 3 different individuals that don't even know each other say the same thing to me that I have said to my clients. And I've been seeing people for a long time, and I've always said this, and I mean it. And now that I'm in the middle of feeling so discouraged, these 3 people said the same thing to me, which kind of smacks you in the face, right? And what they said was, be careful that you're not making your resources your source. Damn. Right? I mean, there is a difference between your resources, which is like your income, your possessions, your means, that stuff, etc. But your source, that's your foundation. That's your convictions. That's your belief system. Right? So am I making my money, my possessions, and my means everything to me? Or am I making my convictions, my belief system, God, which is what I believe in? Am I making God my source, or am I making my resources my source? Damn. That smacked me in the chest because I didn't realize I was doing that, right? I try my very hardest never to do that. To me, God first, everything else second. But I've been so discouraged that I'm like, maybe not. Maybe it's possessions first, right? Maybe it's what I want first. Maybe it's my business, my jobs, whatever first, and then God, right? So I'm making my resources my God. Listen here. I do believe God, and I do believe that He has never freaking left me, even in the worst times of my life. Being abused, almost being murdered, being homeless, all of it. I know God has not left me. I know He has not. And so now I am faced with this tough decision, right? That can completely change my life. And I'm a little bit hurt and discouraged about it. And so here I am, discouraged. What am I making my God, though? I really need to check myself. And I need to cast all of my anxiety, all of my worry, everything that I have on my back right now has to go to my God. Because He's bigger than my problems. He's bigger than that. He's bigger than my resources, which I was making my source. You hear me? He's bigger than my fear. He's bigger than my anxiety, and he's bigger than my worry. And when you start to reframe the way you think, you start to get back to yourself and say, okay, wait a second. Maybe I need to really be thinking about what I'm thinking about. Right? So I ask myself, okay, what are you thinking about? Right? And the truth is the last few days since I have been very discouraged and been going through a really tough time, although I haven't shared that with many people, I only shared it with a couple of people because it's only a couple of people I wanted to trust with it. But I said, you know what? There's a lot of people out here going through some stuff. Maybe they need to hear that. Maybe they need to kind of reframe what they think. Maybe they never thought of something in the angle that I am, presenting it in. So what are you thinking about? What am I thinking about that's making me discouraged? What is on my mind? And how do I change what's on my mind if I'm discouraged? How do I change that so that I'm not anymore? Am I watching things that are making me discouraged? Am I listening to things, listening to gossip, or listening to this freaking news and all this crap that is making people discouraged? Am I walking in fear? Yes, because discouragement and fear go hand in hand. They're buddies. What kind of friends do I have? Who am I associated with, right? I always tell my kids, don't peck with the chickens if you want to soar with the eagles. And sometimes you need to turn that back onto yourself. Look at me knocking things down. That's because I have my gin and tonic. Here's what I know. I know that there's a way that I have to see this. And I know that I have a choice to see this one way or another. I could either choose to see this and experience this in a positive way and how this is going to serve me well, or it can be the hardest journey that I'm going to go through, because it really is going to fall down to what the way I think. Circumstances are circumstances. Those things are what they are. But how we see them and how we actually view them and experience them is on us. Shit happens. And sometimes that stuff is scary, right? But it is a choice to see it in a different way. It is a choice to look at something and experience it differently than what it is. That is a choice. It is our choice to let it develop us, grow us, mold us, show us, or break us. And so in the middle of this garbage, in the middle of it, I have to really say to myself, how do you choose to see this? How do you choose to see this? And then you can step back like a third person and look and overview what's going on and choose the angle in which you want to see and experience this situation. You can see this situation and be like, all right, this is good. All right, this is good. Okay, how do we do this? What do we do? How do we reframe? Where do we go from here? Or I can't believe this is happening to me. This is awful. This is evil. I can't stand it. I'm depressed. I'm anxious and nervous. And let me tell you, that one, the second one, very easy to do. Very easy to do. And very easy to find people to be in there with you. Because misery loves company, loves it. So we need to ask ourselves, which one is it that we actually want? And if we want to move forward, then the stinking thinking and the ugly things that we are telling ourselves every time we go through something hard and discouraging is not going to serve you well. It's just not. Now, listen, I have been through some stuff, right? So I have been beaten. I have been raped. I've been abused. I've been judged. I've been diminished. I've been forced. I've been threatened. And I will not be freaking broken. I will continue to stand. I will continue to use my voice. I'll continue to go through all of this so that I can help others break those chains over their lives. Discouragement needs to go. It doesn't serve me well, except to show me that I need to change. Discouragement doesn't serve me unless it's serving me to show me that I need to change. And what I need to change is the way that I think. And I hope that this serves you well. That you realize that, you know what, there's some people going through some stuff just like you. But you can start thinking differently. So instead of thinking, why is this happening to me? Start thinking, why this is amazing and it's happening for me. What am I going to learn? How am I going to live? What am I going to do? How will I grow from this experience? Life is just experiences, sometimes shitty experiences, but they are experiences. And most of you who have been through some stuff, and I'm sure that most of you watching have, you know that you have been through some stuff, and now you can actually be on the other end of it saying, oh, I remember when, and this is what I got out of it, and you're much tougher for it. So in the middle of the discouragement, look for encouragement. Look for ways to reframe your mind. Look for ways to see things differently. Look for ways that you have maybe talked yourself negatively and how you can flip that. Make sure that you start to reframe your thinking. You got this. I got this. And I leave this today just saying that as discouraged as I came in here, because I did, I'm leaving this bad boy right here. Because I cannot be discouraged another day. I'm serving too many amazing people. I am serving too many amazing people to keep being discouraged. I don't want to be discouraged anymore. I refuse to be discouraged. This crap that happened to me ends today. And even though the situation is the situation, I will make sure to leave it right there because I can't live my life discouraged. I can't do it. I can't. Like, my life is so short and I don't even know when I'm dying. I could die today. I could die tomorrow. Could you imagine how pitiful that would be to die in the middle of a discouragement instead of encouragement? I don't want to live like that. I hope you don't either. So if you guys have not followed me yet, please do. It is Straight Talk, no sugar added. I am coming out with my whole website and courses and all that great stuff to help people out. Because you know what? When somebody has been broken and they're put back together, it is our job and our duty to help others elevate who they are and get a shortcut to do it so that you don't have to be broken or discouraged. I don't mind being discouraged for a season if it means that I can encourage you. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm going to keep on freaking doing. So I want to thank you guys for spending this time with me, for watching. Leave a comment, please. If you don't follow me, please do it. Straight Talk, no sugar added. I'm trying to grow my audience. And let me know what you thought of this. Are you discouraged? And if you are, what are you discouraged with? I'd love to have a conversation about that. So God bless you. Have a good night. I'm going to finish my gin and tonic because it's right here. And my husband has his upstairs. So we're both going to just have a nice drink, watch a good movie, and just woosah, because I cannot be discouraged anymore. I am tired of crying. I am tired of leaving tears on my pillow. I am tired of crying in the shower by myself. I am so tired of being discouraged. It is exhausting and I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not doing it no more. Have a good night. I love you. Be blessed. Go get your drink. This is mine. Have a good one. Make sure that you visit our website at Straight Talk, no sugar added, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes and Stitcher or anywhere you listen to your podcast, or on YouTube, so you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes, or if you simply tell a friend about our show, that would be awesome too. If you like this show, you might want to check out our book as well. It's Hit Me With Your Best Shot, How I Overcame a Hard-Hitting Life. I am Nina Perez, and I am here for you. If you are looking for private coaching, make sure that you email me at hello@straighttalknosugaradded.com. Until next time.